Right, welcome to the Death Ray Cat channel. We are here today to check out the Johnny Cash song, So Doggone Lonesome. And this is trending at the minute because it's been on Fallout, everyone's obsessed with it. So I put out a little short video on how to do the intro, and that's kind of gone a little viral. It's on the TikTok, it's on the YouTube shorts. So I thought I'd go into this song in a bit more detail. For the intro, I showed you how to do it without a capo, and a lot of people play this in the key of F. However, when I'm playing along to the recording, I think it's more like F sharp. So you might see that when you're looking at tabs or watching other videos. I think it's somewhere in between F and F sharp. You don't need to worry too much about that. If you want to play along to the record, I'd go for F sharp, it's a little closer. If you're singing, you might want to play it in a different key anyway. So if you're using the capo, you could have it on the 2nd fret, 1st fret, or a little higher. You might want to play it completely open as well, so that's up to you. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to stick with the capo on the 2nd fret as if I was going to play along to the record. Okay, so I'm tuned up, capo on the 2nd fret. I'm going to start off by looking at the acoustic guitar part of this song. So even though I've got the capo on the 2nd fret, I'm going to be shouting out the simple chord names just to keep it simple. We're going to be using E major, A, and B7. So for the intro, first chord we're going to play is a B7. So that's your intro. Then for the verse, as you can see, the strumming pattern I'm kind of mostly going for a simple and then sometimes I'll add in a little extra. When I recorded the little sample backing track there, I recorded a separate track just doing that little as a bit of a percussive thing. So originally I tabbed out the intro as if we didn't have a capo, just because I know not everyone's got one. You might just want to play along to the intro. So let's quickly look at that. You can even play this with one finger if you want to keep it simple. So all we got here is starting on the 2nd fret, 5th fret, 4th, 5th, back and forth there, and then here we do a little bend, and it's starting with the bend and it's released. You could do a bend and release, that works also, and then we go back to the 2nd. So there you go, fairly simple. And then to finish it off, we've got fret 6, 4 and 2 there. That's all on the low E string. So yeah, that's cool if you want it just to play along, but what's kind of easier and what's more likely if you're going to be playing lead throughout the song, we're going to use a capo again wherever you used it on the acoustic. I'm going for the 2nd fret, the F sharp. So now that magically means when we play the open strings we get the 2nd fret. So those notes are exactly the same, but what I've done is I've tabbed it out. I've tabbed it out as if that was the 0 fret. So now that becomes 3, 2, 1, 0. fairly simple, and we can move that wherever we want to. Say someone's singing up here really high for some reason. Okay, but I'm going to go back to the 2nd fret. So we got the intro down. I'm going to skip to the solo because it's fairly simple, and then after that I'm going to talk quickly about what Luther Perkins might be doing in the verses. So all these notes in the solo are actually in the major pentatonic scale. So if you know that, you're off to a good start. But if we don't know that, we can just follow these notes. So sometimes your strings might rattle a bit once you've got the capo on. You just want to try and move it as close to the fret as possible. Hopefully it'll still be in tune, so try and tune it once you put it on as well. So what have we got? Open strings, open 2 and 4, then up to the open A, 4th fret, and then 2nd fret on the D, and then we come back down that major pentatonic, and it repeats that 3 times. After that it goes back to the intro, but a shortened version of it. The tabs for that will be in my Patreon, the links will be below. Tabs for this song, there's a bunch of other Johnny Cash stuff there as well. Okay, I want to talk quickly about the lead part in the verses and whatnot when Luther Perkins is picking. So, I've done a video lesson on this talking about the concept here. We're essentially going to take those cowboy chords, we're going to pick out a bass line with them. For example, with the E chord, I'm picking the low E string, then the D, then the A, and the D. And sometimes I think I'm hearing, when we're hitting that D string, I might hear a couple of the other strings as well. It's really hard to tell on the older tunes, but if you want you can just target the bass notes. When we go to the A, it's the same idea but it's a different pattern because we're starting on the open A and we're going to go A, D, E, D. And you'll need to know what chords are going on in the song for this to work, so that's why I included the acoustic part before the rhythm track. For the B7 part, in this it's slightly different because it almost plays like a little bit. So we're hitting the B, which is it would be the 2nd fret on the A string, and then I'm going to hit the 1st fret, what would be the 1st fret on the D string. And then we do a little rundown, so back to the A string, 2, 1 and 0. Then we go to the 3rd fret on the low E string. So that's like, because we don't stay on the B for very long there. And then the second time it goes to the B, I think it does more of a kind of classic A string, D string, E string, D string. You'll have to have a listen, see what you think. But that's the concept, so E, A, B7, E. And then you can add those little lines in. Maybe if someone wants to study it in more depth, that would be where it'd start though. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching the Death Ray Cat channel. That's my take on the So Doggone Lonesome tune by Johnny Cash, as seen on Fallout. If you want the tabs, they'll be in my Patreon. I've got more Johnny Cash stuff over there and on this channel if you want to subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you later.